Hey guys, it's me, the amazing gamer DJMC here. Alright, now that I finally have my 12th issue of the new Ultimate Spider-Man series that came out last year, let's talk about what we have so far. First of all, I am glad that we're seeing a version of Spider-Man who is now starting out in his later years. Because if you think about it, that's more of an interesting take. Like, I would say the new Ultimate Spider-Man is the second at best interpretation yet alongside with Exomiac Spider-Man. The reason Exomiac Spider-Man was a great version of Peter's because we are already familiar with his origin story because this Spider-Man has been active counting the events of Miles and then Spider-Man 2, he's been active for 10 years. So like he's not a rookie vigilante. Now as for the new Ultimate Spider-Man, I find it interesting that the original Ultimate Universe Reed Richards of Earth 1610 made a new version of the Ultimate Universe, but not only that, he prevented some of the heroes from ever becoming who they are. Now, I'm gonna mention some stuff I've seen from the Ultimate Comic issues on YouTube because I only have issues 1 and 2. But apparently the maker decided to prevent the origin of the Fantastic Four. By that how did he do that? By mostly off killing off the three members, like Johnny, Ben, Sue, they all fucking died. And as for that version of Reed Richards that survived, the maker really did some fucked up shit, like messed with his mind and shit, even disfigured his own face of that Reed Richards to make him think he was Doctor Doom. So the Doom we see with the new Ultimates is actually Reed Richards. How fucked up is that? So the one thing that concerned me, however, is that uh when he went to his new universe, he did prevent Peter from getting bitten by the radioactive spider. So Peter got the chance to grow up, got married, have kids, which I'm glad is Mary Jane. Now, I love issue 1 so much. It really tell a great origin story for Peter right here. Like he knew something was missing within him. And the fact that Tony like sent him the spider that was supposed to bit him so that way he does get his powers, I like that. I even like it even more that he had a sit down with Mary Jane and his Uncle Ben to ask if a change would be good because he wasn't sure if he wanted to do this or not. And I love Peter's kids in the comic. They are so adorable. And to be honest, what Exomiac Aunt May say about Peter and MJ making beautiful babies, she was right. But I love that in this version, Peter gets to choose to be Spider-Man this time instead of it being just a random accident. That's like the best way to tell a new version of his origin story in so many ways, if you think about it. Let's see. Issue 2 was very interesting. Peter's trying to get the hang of his powers, and Mary Jane starts to know there's some physical difference with Peter, which, let's be honest, she would probably be attracted to. But Peter is still not sure what he can do with his abilities, or better yet, he's not sure if he can do this. Which, to be fair, that's Peter's character. Like, he's not sure if he's capable to keep this stuff up, which we have seen in past comics. The first bad guy he faces is the Shocker, and he gets his butt kicked by him twice. To be fair, he is still trying to start out, so he is trying like different approaches, which is understandable. I find it funny at the end of the second issue, like after he gets his butt kicked by the Shocker, he his little girl May finds out about his secret. Also, speaking of which, I think it's interesting that Peter's Uncle Ben is still alive and not his Aunt May. A very shocking twist to me in the first issue. And I like that Mayday is or no, not Mayday, that's Spider-Girl. May in the new Ultimate Spider-Man series she tells Peter maybe he could change the costume because she doesn't like the all black suit, which, to be fair, that does make him look like he's a scary person. And I love issue 3 personally because you get a suit change montage, and I like that Peter asks May to help how the costume should look. I think that's a perfect father-daughter moment for them. And I like that when he settles on the classic land blue, the classic suit, Mayday likes it. And the coolest panel of him swinging off with his daughter on his back. I thought that was cool and adorable. Now, let's talk about this. Talk about the huge elephant in the room. What do I think of Harry Osborn being the Green Goblin in the new Ultimate Universe so far? Honestly, I was kind of surprised. I was not expecting that to be Harry. I was going to assume that is Norman, to be honest. But I love that Harry, at least he doesn't, like, attack Peter, like, right off the spot. He sees that Spider-Man is trying to do the right thing just as he is. Of course, Harry's methods are a bit more brutal later on in the series. Let's see. But I thought it was kind of weird how Harry's suit could hack Peter's. And when I get the Peter suit, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? But, so yeah, at the end of issue 3, Harry hacks Peter's suit by unmaxing him, and Harry does by versa by unmaxing himself to talk to Peter. I find it funny how some of the Spider-Man issues don't involve Spider-Man action, which I don't mind, really, but I just prefer a little action. But I think it's interesting so far in this comic, so I'm enjoying it. Let's see. Now, issue 5 is basically the origin comic for Harry's becoming the Green Goblin because Kingpin talks to Harry for a bit, and then Harry... Ooh, actually, by the way, I should mention this. Apparently, Gwen Stacy does exist in this universe. She's married to Harry. That's right. Gwen Stacy has not died. She's married to Harry Osborn. She's technically also in charge of Oscorp, actually. So, shocking surprise there. But, let's see. You find out who Harry's wife is in issue 4, which is just Peter and MJ meeting with Harry and Gwen. And the funny thing ever from that issue is that Harry asked Peter, does MJ know about his secret? But he was shocked to hear that from Peter, he was surprised that Harry told Gwen about his secret. Of course, Peter does tell only his daughter knows my little secret. But when we get to issue 6, then the rest of Peter's family, minus Uncle Ben, find out. But what's even more interesting is that Harry gives the Uncle Ben speech, with great power comes great responsibility, to Peter. That surprised me there. I was not expecting that. I was still expecting that to hear it from Peter's Uncle Ben, not from Harry Osborn. Also, keep in mind here, Peter and Harry have not met each other at all in this universe, so I think they did not go to the same school together when they were kids, or teenagers, I should say. Let's see. Well, like I said, issue 5 is basically the origin story for the Green Goblin of that new universe. When we get to issue 6, that's when the rest of Peter's family, minus Uncle Ben, find out about his secret. And they do explain how it happened. See, Peter and Harry went out patrol. They full-on attacked the Kingpin, but they were kind of underestimated by him a little bit. So, like, Wilson Fisk, beat the living crap out of Harry and mostly Peter. But Peter could handle it a bit more because superhuman strength. But at the beginning of the issue, you see him, he's all bruised up from the punches from Kingpin. So, and actually, May accidentally revealed Peter's secret, and she did tear up a little bit, but Peter said it was okay. But Peter sat down with his family, told his son, his wife, what happened to him. His son is telling him to be careful, which, to be fair, that is understandable. As for MJ, she's not angry. She is happy, confused, a little bit scared, but she is proud of what he is doing. And actually, here's the funny thing. Throughout halfway through this comic series so far, because right now each issue comes out each month because this is happening in real life time. When we get to the 6th issue, apparently Peter hasn't called himself Spider-Man yet. That's what issue 6 does, because MJ asks Peter, "Can I see the suit?" Which she does, and she says, "This definitely suits you." But he wasn't sure what to call himself while in the uniform, and MJ looking on the spider on his chest, he says, "Tiger, it's obvious. You're Spider-Man." And the final panel in issue 6 is Peter swinging in the sunset with MJ, and I thought that was beautiful. Now the next other 6 issues gets a lot crazier. Let's see. Issue 7 is mostly crazy because that's where we get to see Dr. Otto Octavius, who's not even Doc Ock yet, but he has that superiority complex thing in him, so yeah. You actually find out Dr. Octavius exists in issue 5 for the Origin of the Green Goblin. But apparently, he's been messing with Harry and Peter's suits. Apparently, they do have AI systems. The reason they're not active is because, well, it's in a safety mode. Which, the suit will still work in their normal functions, they just won't have an AI assist them. So what does Arthur do? He makes like an AI computer program that has like famous people from history. One of them was Abraham Lincoln, Shakespeare. But for Harry, he chooses his father, and I think that's a bad idea. That's gonna be, oh yeah, Green Goblin's definitely coming sooner or later. Also for Peter, he chooses himself because he likes to hear himself talk. When Peter's AI speech bubbles came out for the very first time, and I was now a little bit concerned because Peter's AI speech bubbles, they are black. They are not white. And last time I checked, right now currently in the Venom comics, isn't Venom speech bubbles black when he speaks? So therefore, the suit Tony sent to Peter is basically that universe's Venom symbiote. How crazy is that? And actually, Peter doesn't know about the AI system just yet. But yeah, so basically, Peter and Harry have a little sparring session with the AI, and Peter is like winning a little bit, but then Harry's dad tells him to stop being a bitch and fight harder. And Peter gets lasered. He's not dead, but it hurt a lot. And then Tony Stark appears to them, and just like how Harry hacked Peter's suit, Tony did the same thing with Harry, and Peter just smirked underneath the mask a little bit. And of course, Tony tells Peter about the list that the Maker had on some certain people and why he was on it. And Harry's like, wait, Peter's on the list, but I'm not? Well, to be fair, Harry, you weren't much of a threat to Reed Richards in the OG Ultimate Universe, so why would you be a threat now? But the rest of issue 8, it's not much Spider-Man action going on, but I think, yeah, we celebrate Peter's kid's birthday. I think his sons, unless his son and daughter have the same birthday. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments. But also, I'm surprised the relationship of Peter's Uncle Ben and J. Jonah Jameson have, because apparently at the Daily Bugle, Peter's Uncle Ben worked there as well. And Jonah and Peter have a good relationship in this new universe. And it looks like the same thing with Peter's Uncle Ben as well. To the point where Uncle Ben and Jameson quit the Daily Bugle because apparently Fix is the CEO of it because of the Maker. They left the Daily Bugle, basically quit, and then start up a new paper organization called The Paper. And, let's see. Yeah, so there's that. But Peter's suit AI thing stays as a ball form, but it can still talk to him while he's not wearing it. and it sounds malicious, like it is Peter's inner thoughts, like darkest thoughts somewhat, and it creeps me out in a good way, but also like, oh, this can't be good. But later on the issues, we see technically the Sinister Six. We see Mr. Negative, Black Cat's father who's still alive, Craven the Hunter, Mole Man, Mysterio. Who else? And then there's just Kingpin himself. But let's see. And actually, later in the issues, apparently Peter does not become a biochemist because he's still like a science person, but he didn't make the web shooters because he didn't become Spider-Man. So I think the suit Tony gifted to Peter made the webbing out of it. I assumed Peter had organic web shooters, but I was wrong. So, Otto does make a new suit for Peter, which is Iron Spider like, but it has so much like firearms on it, and Peter says, I'm good. Because Otto was like, you don't want the suit? Well, no, because Otto doesn't realize Peter's more flexible if he doesn't have like heavily artillery attached to him, which to be fair, when you're fighting Spider-Man, he is most likely a acrobatic person. So basically, Peter now gets a spandex version of his suit that does have some Kevlar in it. So basically, it's a bulletproof suit somewhat. And I think Otto made Peter's web shooters as well. They first encounter Felicia Hardy's father because he wants to see how they handle themselves. He does an EMP thing to Harry's suit while Peter is handling that Black Cat on his own. We do see Felicia Hardy in issue 11, but it's just one panel issue and she's on the cover. And basically, they just didn't really show much of her. I hope they change that later on in the series continue, which it is. I want to get to issue 12 because issue 12, the Christmas special, Jesus Christ, it had a shocking reveal because it's just another like family thing with Peter, but the weirdest thing is Peter's not with MJ and his kids. That's his suit. It basically become him. Now you may be wondering, can't the symbiote do that? Technically yes, but technically no. A symbiote that was able to turn into somebody that you know, that was the ultimate version of Carnage from the OG Ultimate Spider-Man comic universe. Because Ultimate Carnage is a clone of Venom and Peter of that reality. And Carnage kills two police officers by draining their life force into him. He turns into Peter's father. And the fact that that version of Venom can do what the OG Ultimate Carnage can do, that is terrifying. Because at the end of the issue, there was a epilogue. Apparently, Peter and Harry have been kidnapped by Craven the Hunter. So we have to wait until this month for issue 13. And I gotta say, holy fucking shit. But I am loving Ultimate Spider-Man 2024. I hope when the series comes to the end of its run, God forbid, please do not kill Peter Parker. Or make him lose Uncle Ben or something. Because he's already lost Aunt May. I don't think he needs to lose another family member or something. But loving the comic book series. I recommend you guys pick it up for yourself. Like, either get a volume version of the first 6 issues, or try to get the issues single at a time. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man 2024 is a great comic book series. I recommend y'all read it.